Morning. I want to start with, just in regards to DeMar Hamilton and his family. Just our thoughts and prayers go out to him and everybody that's involved in that, including his teammates and coaches and everybody that's part of that whole situation. So man, we're wishing him the best. That's tough. So. But it sounds like there's some good news trending. It sounds like, bit by bit. But anyway, he's in our thoughts and prayers. And then as it pertains to us, here we go, man. First day of the week, getting ready for the Packers. I would say it is an improved team from who we played last time. We touched on that. His defense is getting takeaways. Clark is a force in the middle. And I think these two backers are really good players. I think Quay Walker's really come on, man. He's just improved all year long. We liked him coming out, and he's really proven to be everything we thought he'd be and then some. So Alexander's tough on the edge. Douglas is a smart, crafty guy. Offensively, they're running the ball much better. The back's dangerous. Both of them are really dangerous. You can't sleep on Dylan either. The young receivers are really growing and showing up. And Rodgers is Rodgers. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And their special teams are getting returns with Nixon. So we got our hands full, but we're up to the challenge.
Yeah, it's obviously a massive week for you guys. Obviously, there's a lot of hearts and minds that are with what happened in Cincinnati. So I guess I'm just curious, how do you approach your players, talk to your players about what happened, and also keeping the eye on Sunday?
We really started the meeting with we started with a prayer. So we had Sean Pugh come up and we gave a prayer and all of us in the room came together and did that and then we moved on, and we just felt like that was the best thing to do. That was the right thing to do. When you don't have words and there's really nothing, what to say, how to say, how you got all there's waves of emotion. That's the best thing. And so we did that, and that's where we left it.
Challenge at all get your players in the proper frame of mind to play a game, given everything that happened the other day.
Yeah, look, I think that's it's you acknowledge that it's there, and you feel for certainly him, like I said, and now it's you move on. You move on. We got a job to do, and this is where we're at right now.
Went on Twitter and was remembering the game in New England with the ambulance on the field for Savion and everything. I'm just curious if what happened in Cincinnati brought anything to your mind from that day, or what kind of recollections you have of that situation.
Yeah, I mean, certainly that does come to mind right now, and because it's that's a hard one. It's different. Now we knew that he was. We could see him. He was alert. He was breathing. He was, and so there is a sense of okay, hey, So I felt like that's in a different plane than even this thing here. But yeah, I mean, when those aren't the norm, and when those happen, they hit you. They hit you hard. It's reality hits you. You don't think of those, but there is that real rare chance something could happen. And it does. It's a shot of reality.
You talked about it off the top when you were describing the Packers the way they're playing right now, but with the 12 takeaways, with Keyshawn Nixon doing what he's doing, and obviously Aaron, you talk about complementary football all the time. Is that a team right now that's playing really good complementary football over the last month?
100%. That's really been their strength. Is their, when they need a unit to pick it up, they're picking it up. Or if one's struggling, the other two units pick it up. So. They are doing that, very much like we are. That's what we've been doing. We're playing complementary football. We've been pretty good in all three phases. If one's not having the greatest day, the other two have picked up the slack. So we'll need to do that again.
You said, you just wanted to play football, but when they announced this would be a primetime game, putting these guys on this stage with this opportunity, this moment, that adds probably a little bit more to the game as well. How do you keep the guys, pushing and motivating in the right mindset instead of staying focused on the outside noise?
And I just, you say what it is, you say the reality of it, and you say what the reason why you're that's where they want you at, and then you say, hey man, we got nothing to lose here. You know, we go in and we got nothing to lose. We cut it loose and let's have the time of our life, and let's find a way to win this game. And the bottom line is, I can just gauge the room and you can feel it. I mean, we get to be on the big stage, man, and our guys are excited about that. And one way or another, we get to play one more game. At the very least, we're playing one more game. And it's just, it's going to be on a great stage, you know, and everybody's going to see it. And our guys, one way or another, are going to, I think they're going to embrace it. I really do, no matter what happens.
What does it say about the organization as a whole? You started with really the only primetime Thanksgiving. That was a big thing, you know, coming into the year, you guys not having to sort of work from 1 and 6 to that. I mean, what does it say about the work that you guys put in this year?
Well, I mean, I just, you know, there again, we just stayed the course, you know. I mean, that was, look, we came into the year and that's where we were at. And, you know, we hit a rough spot, we stayed with it, and then here we are. I mean, I just think more than anything, it's, I don't know what it says. I'm just rambling right now. I don't know. I just know for us it means something that we climbed back out of the cellar and got ourselves in position to play for one more meaningful game here before the year ends, man. And that's a step in the right direction.
And you guys beat Green Bay obviously earlier this season, but now Sunday night, Green Bay national TV. Is there any danger that Aaron Rodgers aura on Sunday night, even though I know he's older and maybe isn't, you know, as dominant?
No, I mean,
to
me, there's nothing out of the norm. The guy is a hell of a player, and so it doesn't matter if it's Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, you're playing for playoffs, it's first game of the year. Like, to me, he's a handful no matter when you play him. I just don't see anything different. I see an outstanding quarterback who has played and had an outstanding career, and I would anticipate he's going to play one of his best games again. I mean, and we always have to be prepared for that. And that's why it's going to take complementary football. It takes all three phases. There's more than just an offense on the field. There's defense, there's special teams, there's other players besides the quarterback. And so we're going to need everybody.
Speaking of challenge, Jair Alexander kind of poked the bear last week. Talked his talk about Justin Jefferson, then went out and walked the walk and shut him down. And how much respect do you have for a guy that's able to kind of step up in a big moment like that? What do you have to be worried about with Jair in this game?
Yeah, I always appreciate guys that are competitive. I don't care who you are. I mean, you can always respect that even when it's the opponent. You know, you can respect a guy that wants to compete and believes in himself and goes out and shows it. You know, especially knowing how good of a player Jefferson is, you know. Now, they doubled him a lot, too. But yeah, I mean, there's no question. And I said it from the get-go. I mean, he's an outstanding corner. And he is very versatile. You know, he can get up there, he'll jam you. You know, you get your eyes looking inside. I'm getting ready to take off, and he'll jam you in cloud. And then he can match you and run with you. He's got ball skills. He's feisty. You know, he fights. He'll come up and attack the run game. So he's just somebody we have to know where he's at all times in the pass game, you know. But there again, I like our players, man. I like our receiving core. I like St. Brown. You know, he's pretty feisty too. So I like our matchup. I do.
Coach, could you talk about the discipline you're going to need in your secondary going up against Rodgers this week?
Yeah, I think that's one of the key points for us is we got to really hone in on this game plan and man, we have to apply our rules and we got to know them in and out, and no matter what any and all eye candy that can be thrown at us, you don't take the cheese, man. Just stay true to your rules. You know, because that'll be big. That, and then on offense, communication. We're on the road. We're not going to be able to hear. It'll be loud, which is always a key when you're on the road as an offense. Those are the big things. So confusion cannot be part of our game plan.
Rodgers a little bit. Has he done anything different? Does he look healthier? I mean, he's taking better care of the ball. Is the offensive line protecting better? How is he change things or differences when you?
Well, I just think they're running the ball a lot better, and I think they're leaning on it a little bit more, which in turn always is going to help. And then the receivers are there again. You know, Watson's a better player. You know, he's gotten better. He's a young guy that's just continually got better every game, and you know, and so that helps. 13 is healthy. You know, when he came back our last game, that was his first game back, and a few, I believe, and. But he's somebody that I know Rodgers really relies on, you know, and he does a lot for him, man. He's you know, he does a lot of the dirty work in the run game, but he's a big target. He can play in the slot, play outside. He's got route versatility, and so I just think it's a combination of things.
Just wondering, as a coach, how do you guard against the team, because the game comes after the Seattle Rams game, how do you guard against the team reacting strongly one way or the other should the Rams win or the Seahawks win?
Yeah, I think it was really, you know, like I said earlier, I just think this is about, more than anything, there's one objective, and that's about winning this game, and it's us or it's nobody. And, you know, I think that's the most important thing.
This is a big game for the team in a long time. How much of an asset or how much does it help to have Jared Goff, who's played in big games and won them?
It does help. It does help because you know, there again, the intensity of this game will go up. It will be played like a playoff game because it is win and get in, or you don't win and you go home one way or another. And so, and that's they're looking at it that way. We're looking at it that way. And so, I think out of all positions, you want your quarterback to have been there and felt that a little bit. You know. Because of all of them, he needs to make sure that his emotions are always on an even plane, and he can think through things like he has all year. And so he's been in some, as we know, huge games. You know, he's been in the big one. I mean, so this won't be anything new to him, and I think it does help, especially in that position.
Dan, you first talked about the pressure of navigating the stage, changing expectations after the Jets game, and then y'all started with that a little bit in Carolina. Do you feel like you've gotten to a place where you're kind of ready for this now with this, because this is even a different level?
Well, I feel like let's find out. That's why I want them to know exactly the magnitude of this game, because they need to know what this feels like, and they need to know what they're walking into. And at the very least, you find out. You find out, and you figure out who can, who can't, who's young, who's not, who's mature. But to me, that's the way to approach this one. Right now, with where we're at, let's go.